Hey guys, Mike here. So today, I'm here to talk to you about Unhinged. In this review, I'll be going over a brief summary of the plot, my quick thoughts about the film, and whether or not you guys should go and see it. So I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler-free. However, if you don't want to know anything about the film, and you want to go in completely blind, then it's just comment to this video once you've seen the film. So with that, let's get started, shall we? So Unhinged stars Russell Crowe as the man. In Unhinged, after a confrontation with an unstable man at an intersection, a woman becomes the target of his rage. And so we have Unhinged. So guys, going into Unhinged, I really didn't know that much about it. All I really knew is that it starred Russell Crowe and he's unhinged. Honestly, that could have gone anywhere for me, but that's really all I knew about it. So really, no major expectations going into it. I just thought this might be a good film to watch. And this was a film I did go to see in the cinema. But as well, one of the main reasons I did go to see it is because I was going to see Tenet anyway. And I thought, you know, I'll watch this one before Tenet. But in any case, what did I think about Unhinged? One of the first things I really liked in this film is the way they set up the tension. Because at the start, they show these reels of people getting in road rage accidents, not paying attention to the road, and overall just being really aggressive to one another. And why I thought this was good for setting tension was because it made you feel like anything could have happened to these characters on the road. So at the start of the film, when anyone's just driving around, you're always on the edge of your seat and you're thinking, oh geez, anything could happen to these people. And I thought that was just a really good way of starting the film off. Unhinged for me feels like a combination of Duel and The Killing Joke. I mean, The Killing Joke is kind of a loose connection. Basically, the only thing that makes me think about it is that we're all just pretty much one bad day away from becoming crazy or unhinged. But then with Duel, it's pretty much very comparable to the film. But it is different in one pretty significant way. In Duel, you never really get to see the driver of the truck, so it makes it feel like it's more of an entity than an actual real person. It makes it feel like rage incarnate. And obviously, we've never seen the driver. You never really get to see why he is so mad, and the whole thing feels really blown out of proportion. Whereas in Unhinged, you see the guy, you get to know him, and you can kind of understand why he's as insane as he is. Because the film does a brilliant job of laying the foundation for this character. Granted, it's not the most layered of characters, but it does just enough to kind of give you a basic idea of what this guy's going through and how insane he is, with just a little bit of mystery left over to make you wonder what this guy's going to do next. And I would say as well, this film goes to some very violent places. I just can't believe how quickly it escalated. It pretty much goes from 0 to 100 in about 10 minutes. And if we didn't have this initial scene where we kind of get to know Russell Crowe's character a little bit, this might have felt really just out of nowhere. Really, all the woman does to kind of incite this guy's rage is just not apologising to him. Granted, she was being a massive dick to him. All he pretty much asked for was an apology. He even apologised first, but then because she was just so mad at her own life as well, she just refused to apologise. But still, she did not deserve to have what happened to her in this story just because she didn't apologise. But at the same time, you can see why this guy went so crazy. Because obviously, he is very unhinged. But I would say, beyond the characters, there isn't really that much to talk about in this film. Granted, the stunt work's decent, it does go to some somewhat unpredictable places, and the characters do make some somewhat unique decisions, because normally in these films you pretty much know how it's going to go. I mean, right from the offset, you can imagine how this is going to go, but as the story goes on, it does play out a little bit differently than you would initially think. But then, as it's going on, you can still predict pretty much where it's going to go. Honestly, Russell Crowe's character really reminded me of John Goodman. I could have really seen John Goodman in this role. But the thing is, though, the fact that it's Russell Crowe really kind of makes no difference. Russell Crowe is a really good actor, but honestly, this is a role that really most anyone could have done. You could argue that Russell Crowe brings his own unique spin to it, but honestly, this role doesn't really stand out in a massively significant way. Sure, it's really dark and twisted, and it goes to some somewhat unpredictable places. Nevertheless, though, it's a pretty much run-of-the-mill, road-raging psychopath kind of character. Nothing we haven't already seen before. Overall, guys, I did enjoy this movie. It was just about as good as I thought it was going to be. Performances were decent, story was decent, stunt work was decent. As a whole, it was just decent. No better, no worse than I thought it was going to be. But as for whether or not, you guys should go and see it. Now, I have kind of a mixed reception on this one, because while I do think this is a good film, I would say that you don't really need to rush out to the cinema to go see it. I mean, I'm reviewing this movie quite late in the game, so I imagine most people have already seen it or have decided not to see it. But nevertheless, I would say that unless you're really interested to see what this film's about, then I would say you can give it a miss. It's good for what it is, but it doesn't really excel in any significant way. Nonetheless, good watch though. Okay guys, that's my review of Unhinged. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? And what's your favourite road rage movie? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!